Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to another video, and today we're doing WoW. Normally I don't upload WoW videos, but this one was interesting, so I decided that this time I would, and we're going to go over what's happening and how the hits turned out. So Nash is trying to close the base in GBM, and he is holding with mixed marches, and these other guilds like KDM and FLO are trying to smack him out. Here comes an inf rally from Q Beta. Now Nash has mythic champ gear, which does make defending a lot easier, but his champ gear is duelled only for blasts, not really for holding with mixed, and he was busy with work right before this, so he didn't really have time to change. But anyway, let's see how this hit turns out. And inf marches against mixed especially are notoriously hard to defend with, and it is a hold for Nash, but only just. We didn't win by much. So even though Nash was able to counter him, because cavalry formations are suboptimal at defending him, the hit was still pretty close. And of all the formations in the game, Cav Phalanx and Cav Wedge are the worst to defend in because of the way the formation's set up, and that includes countering. So if you're holding a base with mix and you see an inf rally coming towards you, you're going to change to Cav Phalanx or Cav Wedge, but you're more likely to lose that hit countering in those formations than you would countering against another troop type in another formation, if that makes sense. Blasts in general are way stronger than mixed marches, so if you're trying to hold a base or a fort with mixed troops and another player is rallying you with blast, you're more likely to lose that hit than win, even if you counter. So if you want to try and take hits with mixed, you need mythic champ gear, you need sigils, and you need a lot of T5s. Nash has the mythic champ thing all sorted out there, but still, because our opponents are very strong, they've got stats approaching 900%, it's still very hard to defend against them. Florida Boy tried to sneak a carpet rally in there, but Nash was able to defend that quite easily because he only had 3 million troops in that rally. He couldn't fill very well. Florida Boy does have some mythic champ pieces in his Cav set, and he's definitely over 850 on his Cav. So that would make defending this a lot harder if it was full, but the margins there are pretty nice. Even if you have full mythic champ gear, the sigils, and a lot of T5, to win with a mixed march, you always have to get the counter, because if they counter you, or even if you just hit up against a neutral troop type, they will still win purely because of how strong blasts are. The only reason your opponent wouldn't win is if your gear was significantly stronger than theirs, and you know their gear was maybe like a whole grade below yours. But generally, mixed versus blast will always favour the blast. So now we have a full mythic champ player with 125 stars rallying our base. Right before he marches, Nola is going to frostwing him. That triples his walk time, makes it much easier for Nash to be able to counter him. Defending hits from regular geared players is one thing, but defending hits from like mythic champ players with 11k heroes is like an entire class above that, because of how much extra attack and HP the gear and the heroes give them. So this guy is walking with range, he carpets a bit late, and Nash is easily able to change to Int Phalanx and counter him. He only had 2.5 million troops in that rally, so again, it was another easy win for Nash. They really were struggling to fill at this time, but as we get closer to when the base would have locked, they start to get more fillers. At this point, we also finally had full sigils and almost 900k of each T5. Some people were biting the bullet for the losses and sending full T5 marches here. So now we're fast forwarding to right before base locks, and they have a double rally on base. They were finally working together and coordinating their rallies. So KDM and the other guild both have rallies on the base. Now, taking a double rally from these kinds of players under normal circumstances would not be a good idea. But because they weren't filling, we decided to give it a go. Unfortunately, that first guy carpets his Cav rally. Nash is being spammed, so he can't see what's coming, and we do get flattened there. And what's worse is that this guy used Blackwing, so that's a ton of T5 reds there. That hit was very painful. Nash was sitting in Cav Wedge. He must have seen what KDM were marching with and changed his Phalanx to counter, but then that guy carpeted, caught him in the wrong formation, and ouch, that hit definitely hurt. Cav on Cav, if he had changed to range Phalanx, he would have won, but obviously he didn't have time. They only had 3 million there, but they were still able to do quite a lot of damage. Nash only had 3.8 million in the base because he can't refresh his filler march, so after every rally he took, the troops in the base would have dwindled down slowly. But anyway, we're holding base again, and TNX have set another rally. So here he comes again with another range rally. This time he's nearly full. I don't know why this guy lets his rally walk and then there's like a delay before he carpets, because it's much easier to see what he's sending. But anyway, he's sending range again, and Nash is able to counter on time, and it's another hold for us. But this one was really, really close. About 18k troops between us and them on that hit. And he has set his march in cavalry phalanx, and what that does is it operates similar to the inf wedge effect. So his range march only has to go through half of the total infantry we have in the base, and then there's a retarget and his range will start engaging our cavalry troops, which will do a lot more damage much faster, and that's why that hit was so close. On a guess, I'd say that guy must be close to 900% range, and unlike a regular Mythic geared player, he's got a lot of Mythic champ pieces in there, and that will take his HP up and also increase his attack, especially if his pieces are only jeweled for blasts, which I suspect they are. Now, the next hit I actually didn't record. I was looking at something else on the map, and then I see the message on the third board, and unfortunately this one was a loss for us. He sent range again, Nash did counter, but the hit was completely different from the last one, and unfortunately we did suffer a defeat there. He did have more T5 on that rally, and we were missing about, I think, 20 to 30% sigils, which makes a massive difference because that's like the equivalent of 20% attack boost. And army attack for a mixed base hold is extremely important. So we did try to take one more hit from this guy. Unfortunately, after this, it was like morning in China, and a lot of Chinese players were waking up, and there were 4 rallies on the base after that, so we couldn't close it after then even if we wanted to. Yeah, so this guy, his next rally is infantry, and he carpets too quick for Nash to change formation, catches him in range, which is a full counter, but he only takes out 1.6 mils, so it was a counter, but not bad. Like, that could have been, like, horrific. That could have been, like, 2.5 million deads there. If you want to successfully defend hits from other Mythic champ players, then you do generally need Emperor gear, preferably multiple pieces to boost up your army attack and your HP. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the content. Make sure to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all next time.